Today I want to talk about the power of a mirage. Around 2 years ago, I decided to give up poker and to kind of venture off into this world where I was either going to find success doing something that wasn't poker, or I was going to hit rock bottom, lose everything, and free myself from anything that was holding me back. It was kind of a naive notion, but at the same time, it was also a very intrepid notion. It was something where I was just like, you know what, fuck it, let's go for it, let's see what happens. And what happened was it was the most stressful time of my life, easily. Just not knowing where money was coming from, not knowing where any feeling of relief was going to happen, and not knowing how I was going to survive, and to not know any of that. But eventually, the mechanisms, the forces came in where because of the fact that I had to pay child support, that through child support I was put into this program called the Children First program, where they were telling me to get a job. And I was like, okay, you know, if that's where the universe is calling me, I'm all about getting a job. And so I started looking for jobs and started doing different things and started participating in this program. And you know, I was ready to give it my all and ready to say, all right, where does the universe want me? And what happened was I came across this job opportunity, which sounded so magnificent to me. It was everything I was looking for. It was a marketing gig, and they were talking about all these great things about how they were innovative, how they promote based on merit, not on seniority or favoritism or anything like that. And it was all the ideals that they were expressing were ideals that I really resonated with. And then I went and I had an interview, and I nailed the interview. Because I mean, I was there. I was an open book, and I was answering truthfully, and I know I came across super well. I got called back for a second interview, which is really like a trial of the job, where you actually go out with a couple of people who do the event marketing, and you experience what it's like, and that's kind of the second interview. And it turned out that the process was, well, let's back up a little. Because in between this space, after I had that first interview and before I had the second interview, I was just mentally going all over the place. Like, I was like, wow, this is actually an opportunity. I get a chance to be on a team. I get a chance to contribute. I get a chance to really make something happen. And I just saw myself playing all these different roles within this organization and doing all these great things. And I saw finally an opportunity for my talents to come to light, for my talents to be appreciated, and for me to get the support that I need to really thrive. And all this happened, and all of a sudden, this scattered place of totally stressed out and not knowing anything and facing so much uncertainty totally funneled down into this powerful stream of knowing that, yes, I am in charge of my own destiny, and I'm ready to rock it forward. And so I go for the second interview, and it turns out to be nothing like what they told me it was. It was just standing out in front of a grocery store and soliciting patrons for donations to a charity and giving away a little swag in exchange for those donations as a means to make it selling something instead of pure donations, which I'm sure was to adhere to some sort of code that existed. And it was nothing like what I thought it was. And this entire job that I had imagined never existed. Yet, the effect of imagining something that turned out to not be real, and the powerful moment of unification where I went from scattered and scared to just focused and totally empowered, completely changed my direction. And I immediately knew how to rectify the current situation, and that next Monday I made a few phone calls, and I got 5 poker investors lined up, and I relaunched my poker career, and for the most part it went really well, and I gained a lot of insight from the entire experience, and it carried me to new places. But the job that changed my life was a job that I never worked, was a job that in fact never existed. That is the power of Mirage. What is and what isn't really that important. What is important is giving yourself the opportunity to believe. And when you give yourself the opportunity to believe in the reality that you want, you create that reality. You step into that reality. I became the person that would have gone into that company that didn't really exist, and would have changed it. Would have turned that company's world upside down, and would have made a huge impact. And I took that person that I was, and since the company didn't exist, I formulated my own way of doing things. And I really made some huge strides in my own life. And eventually that led to where I am now, and it was a great journey all the way around. But to go from complete and utter, it was a state of just trying to stay above sea level emotionally, just trying to stay focused on something positive, which I am very good at, and I am very good at escapism. But to go from that place where I'm escaping from reality just to be able to survive emotionally, to a place where I'm like ready to take on the world, ready to do what it takes, that was huge for me. And it was all coming from something that never really existed. So the power of reality is lent by the attention we give it. Reality has no power over us. We give power to reality. So next time you think that you believed in something that just wasn't true, or that you got your hopes up for something that can never be, realize that the hope and the belief that you projected into that possible reality was real. And it helped to birth something within you and birth something within the world. And nobody and no one can take that away from you. It is yours. It has been internalized in you. You have grown from it. And it cannot be ever taken away from you.